Guys, welcome to my hex carry cancel adder tutorial. So this is what one layer of the final product looks like. You can stack it up to 7 times and get yourself an 8-layer hexadecimal adder, but it kind of looks like spaghetti. So I'm gonna start with the basics. So right here, you need 2 circuits to be able to add hexadecimal values together in Minecraft. You need this one, 15 minus a minus b, which, if you rearrange the equation, gives you just a plus b. But what's special about it is that none of the values ever have to go above 15, so it doesn't cause any issues with that later on, because you can't actually have a signal strength value more than 15. So if I add 1 plus 1, you can see the signal goes for 2 blocks. However, sometimes you end up with 2 values that add to more than 15, and then that can create some problems. And so technically this equation should be b minus 15 minus a minus 1, but for our purposes we're leaving it like this, and this effectively becomes a plus b minus 15. It should be a plus b minus 16 because of the fact that that 16 gets carried up to the next layer. But if it's minus 15, then we can actually that allows us to detect the carry itself, and then you can just let the signal strength decay by 1 to get your actual value. So for example, if I were to add 8 and 8, that would add to 16, which would be a carry but no output, because that adds to exactly 16. So then your output is going to be 0, but you do have that carry right there. Now, what has to happen next is these need to be combined. And the way that I did that, no, not that one, it looks like this. This is a hexadecimal half adder. The output's inverted. We'll deal with that later. That's important. But this allows for this right here allows for the carry to override the regular output if there is a carry, because if the carry is active, then the regular output is actually just going to be showing 15 all the time, which creates problems. But so this top layer is the carry logic, and then the bottom layer is the logic for if there isn't a This bottom layer is the logic for if there isn't a carry. So what this allows me to do is, and keep in mind that the output is inverted. If I add 8 plus 8, that should be a value of 0. You invert 0, you get 15. And right here, we can see in the F3 menu that it is 15. Now, for example, if I want to do 8 plus 9, it should show 14 because now my output would be 1. And if we look, it does. And then, if we're doing like, let's say 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 should make 7, right? 15 minus 7 is 8. And there we go. We're seeing a power of 8. So now, what do we do from here? Now what we need to do is the carry cancel part of this whole operation. So if you're familiar with binary carry cancel adders, this will make sense. If you're not, I would recommend you go watch a tutorial on that, because I'm not properly equipped to explain how that works. But your cancel is just the standard output, the one that isn't the carry. That goes straight into your cancel line. And then your carry is obviously the carry line. And then you just subtract the carry from the cancel on each level to get your carry signal for each level. Alright, on to the piece of kit that brings all of this together. This is, in a CCA, this would be an XOR gate, but because this is hexadecimal, it's a little bit more complicated than that. This is a custom designed piece of kit created by me for this adder, and what it allows me to do is it is a conditional add 1, which allows me to actually add the carry to the output. However, what happens if you have an input of a value of 15 and you need to add 1 to that? You can't. It has to become 0. So that's where all of the special logic here comes in. So since the output from our half adder is inverted, an input of 15 would actually be 0. So I'm going to leave this as it is. Just imagine that's 15 instead of 0. And then I add the carry, and the output turns off. How does that work? This comparator should be powered, right? Wrong. This is a little cursed setup that I found out about a few years ago. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but they haven't fixed it yet, so let's hope it stays that way. What this allows you to do, so this comparator will read from the barrel, and if I give it just any old input, it's not going to change the comparator at all. See, it's not turning on. However, if that input has a signal strength of exactly 15, it overrides the barrel. I'm not sure why it does this. It's weird. It's more than a little bit scuffed, but it works, and that's what matters. So, most of the time, this redstone right here is going to be at signal strength 15. You can see in the top right in my F3, that is at signal strength 15. Now, if this value is on, if this is on at all, that means that the output coming from the half adder, the value of that output is going to be less than 15. So if there's anything, this dot is powered by this repeater right here. However, if that value is 15 and there is any input from the carry, this suddenly becomes less than 15 because of the way this is set up, which, because this barrel's value is 0, just completely disables this comparator. And that is what brings all of this together and allows you to create this. Sorry about that, I had to hop on a server where my world edit actually works. I was having issues in single player. But as you can see, this does actually stack all the way up to 7. And what this allows you to do is just have a much, much smaller 32-bit adder, and it's only 6 ticks, which is faster than most 32-bit adders as well.